Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here. We're taking a look at lesson 2.8, which is on model mixed number division. And number 5 reads, Marty has 2 4/5 quarts of juice. He pours the same amount of juice into 2 bottles. How much does he pour into each bottle? To figure out which of these two numbers would be the dividend, you have to ask yourself, what's the thing that's being broken up into equal-sized chunks? This is the thing that we're breaking up into equal-sized chunks. I wrote it down right here as the dividend. Now, what are the equal-sized chunks? We're going to take that amount and pour it into 2 separate bottles. So if we had to model this, we might rethink the value as an improper fraction, because we're looking at fifths here. We could have no fifths, 1/5, 2/5, etc., all the way to 14/5, which is the equivalent of 2 4/5. All right, now how do we get 14/5 if we don't have the pretty number line to look at? Well, we would do 5 times 2, which is 10, and add 4 to get 14. Now, we're basically dividing this into 2 bottles, right? So let's look at the algorithm for it. If we're dividing this by 2, which is the same as 2 over 1, some teachers like to use the little phrase, keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. We're going to keep the dividend, 14/5. We're going to change division to multiplication. So this becomes a multiplication sign. And we're going to flip this to its reciprocal. The reciprocal of 2 over 1 is 1/2. And now we can go ahead and look for what I call cross-reducing opportunities, or we can just go across and reduce after. I'm going to reduce ahead of time. 2 is a factor of both of these. 2 goes into that once. 2 goes into that 7 times. 7 times 5 would be 7, and 5 times 1 would be 5. Now what we should look at is, let's look at the diagram of this. So if we have 7/5, that's this amount right here. And we would also have here the same thing, right? That's an equal amount. Now the question is, how much do we have, when we go back to the question, how much does he pour in each bottle? He's pouring 7/5. Now usually teachers are not going to be very satisfied if you have it left as an improper fraction. You would have to rename that as a mixed number. To do that, we'll take the numerator and divide it by the denominator. 5 is going to go in once, and we'll get the 2 left over, so it's going to be 1 2/5. Now if we look at the representation on the bottom, see how you have the whole numbers? 1, and then here's 2. If this is 1 and this is 2, and we're thinking about what's in the middle, this mark would be 1 1/5. Here would be 1 2/5. 1 not that one. 1 3/5 would actually be over here. Not there. I can't erase it. See if I can erase that little mark. It would actually be here, and so forth, right? So if we have 1 2/5, 1 1/5, 1 2/5, that's where we're at right here, isn't it? So 7/5 or 1 2/5 is the answer.